I believe in being prepared, in being able to take care of yourself. Not as far as Wrangler Star goes, and I'll watch his stuff, and being 100% honest, a lot of times it freaks me out. But at the same point, you need to be able to take care of yourself, and while these battery operated portable power stations get a bad rap for most people that they say, it's not worth it, you shouldn't do it. I'm a firm believer that you should have one of these that should be able to power some larger items. Not that you're going to put big stuff on this all the time, but this is a renewable power source with solar. So if gas wasn't available, or more likely in my case, if I don't want to run my gas or propane generator overnight, but I still want to have some sort of power around, this guy works. And if I don't have something to charge it up the next day, I can hit this on solar and I'm back in business as long as I have sun. But I can live without it for a couple days, but if I really needed it, it would be around. So that investment, in this case, this is the new BLUETTI AC200L, which is an expandable unit. I have the AC200P, which has a few features that I like different than this, but at the same point, this guy can be expanded with different battery packs, and it could get more and more watt hours. Not more powerful as far as what it'll do. It's 2,400 watts out. It's 2,500 combination of AC and DC, but 2,400 is going to be AC, and you can put a ton out on DC, but combination 2,500. And the surge is well more than that. This is a quality unit. You look at it, everything around it is going to be built to last 3,000 charges on this. Lithium iron phosphate on the inside. It's going to last well more than 10 years, and it's worth it to have the protection for yourself. I'm going to bring you in, walk you through this guy, and show you what I'm using it for, why you might want to have one around. One of the things I like about BLUETTI and this unit is that it's Wi-Fi compatible and Bluetooth compatible. So if you had this unit at home on your Wi-Fi, you could go to My Devices, click on it. It says offline, but obviously if we just go in and look at it, it would tell us what our Wi-Fi connection is and what it's doing. It's trying to connect, but we would be able to change things. We can see the same exact thing if we Bluetooth to this here. It will show us what's happening. It is currently off, or we have it, it is on, but it is currently not on with the DC or AC. 83% battery. If we wanted to look at the battery packs, we could say, hey, what do we have as far as our internal battery pack? It'll tell us exactly what's going on there. If we'd like to look at any alarms or anything, and then if we have other packs connected, which we'll show you how to connect other packs, although I do not have any at this point in time. If we want to turn on the DC, the USB, we can hit OK, turn that guy on. It will tell us the watts that it's using. There's a very small camera connected to it, probably not going to take a whole lot, but it is charging at this point. If I wanted to turn on the AC, boom, that will turn on in a second. You can hear everything kicking up. It'll tell us what's happening as far as output, and we can kind of monitor the situation as far as the battery or anything else that's happening here. I think this part is pretty amazing, considering you have to have an app that you trust. And speaking of trust, while we have this guy running, we are putting out 1,750 watts on AC. It's not really showing us anything as far as DC. I just have that camera going. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. Basically, why I say trust is we are at 119.7 volts, which is perfect for the US. That is something I don't see on a lot of these units, and I'm very, very comfortable plugging in a computer, plugging in a refrigerator, plugging in a TV, anything with sensitive electronics, because we are running the right voltage. We're also running exactly the right hertz, and this is a pure sine wave unit, so I know that the power leaving this is 100% safe for everything that I want to plug into it. When we look at the screen of the BLUETTI and the screen of our phone, we are seeing identical items. That's good. This is a quality app, and if we want to turn off the DC, this is going to happen fairly quickly. And I, again, go back to having a good app is nice, especially if you want to put this on Wi-Fi. If we look at our screen, we have a DC input, which could be from a car, it could be from solar panels. We have nothing going in, barely anything going out. Obviously, that's not registering on here at all. AC input currently at 0, output 1749. It's going to tell us it's going to run for 0.8 of an hour at this discharge. And we have a heat gun and a battery charger going at this point in time. This is not where I run this. I like to run this more in the 800 watt out range. That'll give me closer to 3 hours. And it's just where this fits in. Even though it's large, 2400 watts out, doesn't mean I want to run something like this at its max. I can, but it's going to have a short runtime. This is only a 2048 watt hour unit without an expandable battery. If we wanted, we can plug this guy in and we can run power in and power out at the same time. The cool part about this is it doesn't change much. We can run in 1400 watts, run out 1600. Our voltage doesn't change. Everything is pretty good. It's just going to charge the battery and output. Another portion with this app is all the settings. This is not a touch screen, so whatever's happening here can really not be changed unless you get inside the app. This is a standard UPS. So you can change that to multiple different modes of types of UPSs so that you could customize what you want to have as far as your working machine. UPS meaning universal power supply. This can be plugged into the wall, power things out, and then turn on the battery immediately when power is lost so that you won't have anything that shuts down. Charging modes can be changed as far as if you'd like turbo, if you want silent, standard. It's going to have a fan eventually that comes on if it's charging. All this stuff is able to be changed. Grid adaptation, powerlifting. If you're using this to really push out a ton of power, you can turn that on and it will help keep everything up and ready to go. Eco mode is something that you either love or hate. I keep it on most of the time here, but if you had this on like a sump pump, you'd want to turn eco mode off because if it doesn't run after 4 hours, it will turn itself off. If I'm charging a camera or doing something like that, this is great. It'll charge it for 4 hours. It'll then, when the battery's full, boom, this turns off because there's going to be a residual draw on this inverter on the batteries if it's kept on. But you can set all the limits here, AC and DC. And I think that's pretty amazing. If we go into the never sleep mode, which is again, one of those things, if you're running it on an important item that doesn't use a lot, you can change that. You can choose the DC input source. There's a million things that you can do. Now here's where you can change things up to make this a little more fitting to you. Obviously you could go from 50 to 60 hertz if you wanted to, but if you wanted to charge off the grid a little bit less because you don't have the ability to do things at 12 amps or whatever it is, you can change this. So you have the ability to go through and change anything you'd want to make this work exactly for you. Being prepared to me also means being able to have the cables that you want at any point in time or having things that are readily available. These are not. While these are great, they're waterproof, everything is good here, they are more of a proprietary cable that I'm not just going to have laying around. This is the AC power cord that's going in that's supplying grid power and pretty easy to plug in and use. You have to be careful with these plastic threads. You got to get them lined up good and then everything is right. I don't want to cross thread them, and you can feel like you are sometimes, so I just make sure that I'm good. These are covered all the time, which is nice. This is going to be your DC input. It's going to allow you to do solar charging or charge off a car or a lead acid battery, anything like that. It's nice that it's covered, but at the same point, it is, again, proprietary. You got a ground, you have your circuit protector, and then this is going to be for adding additional batteries. The front of this machine obviously has a screen that we've gone over, a power button that works to turn things on and off. You can also do that via your phone. You have a 12-volt outlet, cigarette lighter adapter, 10 amp. Here's the one that gets a lot of people. This is an aviation adapter, 48 volts, 8 amp output. This is basically here for an upcoming converter that's going to be able to power RVs through DC volts. This is something that BLUETTI is going to come out with. It's coming, but it's kind of here and not out yet. So it's one of those things that most people probably would not use. 2 USB-C outputs, they are PD100, so they're 100 watts. And then you have 2 USB-A's, they are 3 amp outs a piece. You can turn this on and off with these buttons. The buttons are perfect because to me they're very solid, they're very user-friendly compared to some. I mean, there's no big push or no push, long push. It just, you push the button, it turns on. Anything as far as outputs go for AC, you have they're 120 volts, but they're 20 amps here. You have 4 of them, and then you have a 30 amp output for an RV, which I think is amazing. This says RV use only, but obviously if you had a cord that you wanted to plug in there and then run out to multiple different standard outlets, you could, or you can plug your RV into this and rock out. So pretty simple as far as what you have on the front. Something I miss from my AC200P is there's no wireless charging on the top of this. It looks like it might have been designed in and taken out, or it might be an option at some point. Currently not available. Included with this is going to be the grid power cable. You're also going to have a DC power cable that's going to have its end on it, and then it's going to basically have a connector that will connect up to your solar power or to a DC cigarette lighter adapter, so you can charge this guy up however you'd like. That's going to be 12 to 14.5 volts in, no more than 15 amp, but at the same point you're going to be able to get some power into this guy pretty quick. Make sure if you buy a solar panel for it, it fits into that voltage. What I like about this is that I can use this for other things than just the being prepared. I can use it as a UPS. I can control it via Wi-Fi, which to me is awesome. So if this stays at my cabin up north, it's plugged into a few vital options, vital things that I'd like to keep going. So if power goes out, I can consistently have things running that I know I might need or want, be it in a prepared situation or just be it to run the whole place. And it's perfect. Things that work awesome on this. Sump pumps if you need it. Water heaters, as long as it's not electric. If it's a gas water heater, this will run it no problem. That to me is priceless. I can have hot water if I want to. If the power's out, I don't have to run a generator, so this can run it no issue. Internet, Wi-Fi, TV, boom. It's all going. I can keep informed as to what's going on. I can keep my phone charged. I can make phone calls. I can see the news if I need to. I could just kick back and watch a movie and relax if I want to. This has it rocking and rolling. To me, that is well worth it. Security systems, cameras, all that stuff that runs off it is all plugged into this guy. If I lose power, that's all on a battery backup. Here, everything keeps going. I can see what's happening around and or turn it on or off if need be, and life's good. That's what this should be about. So $1,500 on this guy. I'll put some links in the description. I enjoy this stuff. Let me know if you think it's overboard. I like a little bit of overkill. I'd rather have something large like this that lasts a little bit longer, gives me some access to it in usefulness while it's not fully prepared, or while I'm not in that situation of needing to be prepared, and this is it. Let me know what you think. Comments below, give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.